Good morning. Today we're going to be finishing off the church that we've been building for the town of Ladogen. Welcome back to MorningCraft. Here's Ladogen. Looks pretty nice. It's got a beautiful sunrise and it's got a foundation of a lovely new church. I built it based upon the real life Grundtvigs Church, and I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. But there's a few things we're going to need to change and a whole bunch of details we need to add. First of all, those side wings are far too short. And while this is a lovely church, and it's an absolute gem in the middle of these spruce forests, they're going to need to be a few blocks higher. We also need to add all the details to the front of the church and a whole bunch of windows. So let's get to work. I raised up these side wings just a few blocks and now it looks way more accurate and we'll have a whole bunch more room inside. Did have to redo a lot of the roof, but it was well worth it. And so with the side wings fixed, it was time to get onto the front of the church. I added in all these details to make it look like the real building. These were a real pain to add because I had to carve away at the light grey concrete powder, which kept collapsing every time I did. But I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out, and so I got to work on the entranceway. I added these extra details in a triangular shape, and this was also a real pain to do, but I think it turned out pretty good. I replicated all the changes I made to the front on the back of the main tower, and then I built these diagonal sections at the back. And so with these small reshapings and the extra details on the front of the tower, our cathedral was finally taking shape. But of course, we're going to need a ton of windows, and I'll show you those after this story.
Great Vikings, we have embargoed Ladogen. Now if they wish to trade, it will be on our terms. No longer will they enjoy the cream sitting at the top of our hard work. I move now to dissolve my power and spread it among us. This very room will rule Thaldrim and the Viking tribes. I will only make decisions if we are not gathered to decide together. In other news, all the great masons and architects of Mornington are now being actively recruited. Soon Thaldrim will be the capital of Dawn.
So we're back and we're working on the cathedral once more. You can see I've added these side windows here, and I think they look pretty good. We've got the same design on the front for each of these side wings, and then some extra pillars for support. We then also have some lovely tinted windows to help let in light, but not too much. And so as we pan across the Finger Lakes, we can see this beautiful church in its forested home. We can see the harsh backdrop of the walls put in place by the neighbouring kingdom of Thaldrim. And despite the tension between these two warring factions, this church is still a beacon of peace. Whenever I work on a church or a cathedral, I think that's when I do my best builds, and while this certainly isn't my best, I really like this one. It's not one I would have chosen, naturally, but it's one that a friend recommended, and I think it suits his build really, really well. It's only a quick flight across the ocean to reach it, so maybe I'm going to go and have a look in real life. But I did notice that there are some side wings on the tower in real life, so I went ahead and added those in here. And I think they give just this extra bit of depth to the building. Those sides are pretty flat, and actually the real building, those sides are currently covered in scaffolding, so it was a little bit hard to see, but I managed to find some photos from before. There are some finishing touches to make, but let's go to a quick story.
Honshujin forces had arrived at the walls of Sakurajima, and soaked in the shakes of thunder and the drench of rain, they began the attack. The emperor stood defiantly at the head of his army, but the forces of Honshujin quickly overwhelmed the armies. The earl cowered fearfully in the back of the army. Why was this supposedly great man so fearful and hollow?
Okay, we're back, and it's time for the finishing touches. I touched up the entrance to make it a little bit nicer, and I thought I'd show you the interior. We have plenty of natural light, but this thing is still acting like a mob spawner. We'll definitely have to clean up this interior, or maybe build one, or maybe my friend will build one first. But either way, this church looks pretty good, and I added some trees to make the wall behind it a little bit less, offensive and in your face. These trees obviously can't mask the tension, but I think they look pretty good. And they help really give the church the forest setting it would have without them. There isn't much lighting on this church, and so it still feels a little bit cold, but there is going to be an entire port region put in place around it. But will this church stand the test of time as these two tribes war over the land in between? Will Ladogen's ownership of the Finger Lakes continue? I don't really know. Well, I do, I've written the story, but yeah, you'll see. Either way, let's enjoy a quick sunrise on our new church, or should I say our neighbour's new church. And as we watch this sunrise, I hope you have a really, really good morning. You can see me standing there on top of the cathedral, and I hope you have the most amazing morning upon which the rest of your day can stand. If you're watching this when it goes out, it's currently Friday, and if you celebrate, it will be Easter weekend. It's Good Friday when this goes out, and it will be Easter on Sunday. So if you celebrate, happy Easter, and if you don't, I hope you get some chocolate. Even if you don't like Easter, who doesn't like chocolate? There's probably some people who don't like chocolate. I like chocolate, I hope you like chocolate. Hope your morning's good. Maybe don't have chocolate in the morning, that might not be good. Unless it's in cereal, that's probably not good cereal. Either way, hope it's a good day. And I hope to see you on Monday for the next episode. I'm releasing a mini episode tomorrow. Who knows, we'll see what happens. See you then.